Welcome back to Exit Speed Racers. Today we're going to talk about how to find your braking point, and we're going to use our trusty, fully track prepped Miata today. It's pretty much a weapon on the track. I don't know what motor we have swapped into it. We'll talk about that one day. So, when I first, the first time I was ever at the controls of a car on an actual racetrack was in Skip Barber at Sebring International Raceway. And before we ever drove the Formula cars, we got in a Dodge Neon, 3 students to an instructor, and first we did a sliding lap with the instructor, and then I was the first guinea pig, the first student at the wheel. And we had been lapping, and as we came to the braking markers for the hairpin turn, he had been hitting the brakes at the third, you have corner markers, 3, 2, 1 of cones on the side. And he had been hitting the brakes about here. And we were using a control speed of about 90 miles an hour down this main straight. And he told me, my first lap in the car, he says, I want you to hit the brakes at the 1 cone. And out there on this turn was nothing but steel Armco barrier. And I thought to myself, well, the car has airbags. It's not my car. You want me to hit it I just confirmed with him. The single cone? He said, yeah, the single cone. And I learned just that quick how far you can push in threshold braking. I not only was able to still make the turn from the single cone, I actually had a little bit of cushion. So how do we find that ultimate point when we can still clip the apex and work on our exit? Well, you're going to have to push deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is the point where a lot of people experience their first slides, first tire lockups, that sort of thing. Now, you've been bragging on the forum about these new track day tires you bought and how, what a deal you got on them. They're still pretty expensive. You don't want to be dragging that inside front wheel for 100 feet and flat spotting the crap out of your new tires. So you're going to push a little further, a little further, a little further. And the real way you're going to know is eventually you're not going to be able to make the apex. You're going to push a couple feet beyond it. So each time you progress this, and you got to do this, I can't stress enough, this needs to be on a racetrack in a controlled environment. But you're going to push, a couple feet, a couple feet, a couple feet until you're just clipping the apex. And that's going to teach you, how far in you can push that braking marker, and what exactly I was talking in the previous episode about taking mental snapshots. You're basically going to see the track, and exactly where you're hitting the brake and replicate that time and time again. Now, lastly, the main thing is this all has to happen smooth. So you're going to come off the throttle. The car is going to naturally settle from, nose up on the throttle, roll off the throttle. As the car is rotating over to naturally settle, you're applying the brake and planting the front end. So it's off the throttle, onto the brake, and it's a pretty quick, hard motion. And you're pushing the brake hard enough to push the front end of the car down and get maximum 100% braking. And then in our other video, we talked about you're 100% on the braking, and then you're going to, as you initiate steering to go towards the apex, lift your brake pedal as the steering wheel turns, like there's a string attached from your steering wheel to your brake pedal, and that is how to find your braking point. See you in the next episode.